90% of what these governors do has nothing to do with governance. What is your problem with masquerade? A masquerade is a human being who decorates himself to entertain. Alright? And they also have cultural values. They also have religious values. So, what does a person who wears a cassock and all those this thing look like? That's a masquerade too, because they are not dressed like a normal person. So even the governor is himself a masquerade because he wears clothes that he doesn't need. What distinguishes a masquerade from a person is the mask. That's why they call it masquerade. He wears a mask over his head so that you don't recognize the person who is there for cultural purposes. So anybody who is wearing a mask makeup is a masquerade because you are masking your face. I don't want to go into beauty here, but to come back to the issue, total foolishness and inferiority complex on the part of this guy. If masquerading was a white man's religion or practice, the governor would gladly be importing masquerades from Europe.
Exactly.
The mask on the face of the masquerade, in most places, the better ones are carvings of our own artists.
Cultural heritage.
And it's our own cultural practice. The masquerade sometimes entertain kids, some help for environmental preservation, but these idiots don't even know their history. I'm sure it is a pastor that told them, yeah.
He is a pastor, Governor. He himself is a pastor.
Exactly. So he himself is a masquerade. Yes. He's not even practicing the religion of his fathers. He's using foreign religion to suppress local religion. He's a masquerade, so he should be arrested.
So now that Christopher Musa is, I think, probably at the National Assembly to be screened by Akwa and other senators, do you have any words as he takes on his new role?
Hopefully, Christopher Musa can finally fence Nigeria. That was his promise when he was CDS. He wants to fence all the borders. So tell him to start fencing the borders. I said it yesterday. It doesn't matter who is the Minister of Defense or not. Even though the one there was a total clown, the one they removed, and Matawali to clowns. The issue is how to change and transition to technology to defeat terrorism. But that's the short-term impact. The long-term impact is to defeat poverty. Because without defeating poverty, you cannot eliminate insecurity. You must first of all install social security for you to have physical security in the country. You know, these days, if I'm president of Nigeria, I won't appoint a minister of defense.
Why?
A minister of defense will be a drone. That's all. I'll just buy drones. They will be the minister of defense. The person who will be the real minister of defense is a drone operator. Because a drone can locate terrorists more than the minister of defense can in 20 years. Minister of defense is a ceremonial position. It's a ceremonial position for people who award contracts at the Ministry of Defense. And if I'm president of Nigeria, I won't also have the type of contracting you have now. Our contracting will be done by technology. Anything we want to buy, we'll bid for it online. And the people who want to sell it to us can ship it down here. If it requires some security clearance from the US and all that, because there are things you can't buy because of concerns, we'll have a conversation with them diplomatically to sell to us the platforms that we need.
Sir, Buratai actually noted that the recruitment of Boko Haram members into the army was not done deliberately, and that it was the state who handed over the recruitment lists to them as at that time. So
was perhaps... It's not Buratai that started buying motorcycles for soldiers to fight terrorists. People like that should not be talking, you understand? How can the states, how can you say you are the chief of army staff and you are recruiting people that are not screened? The first thing you do is even if they hand over a list to you, we have been shouting that they were handing over a list to them. There's a name they call them in the north, I think children of Madame or something. Because most of the recruited that you're hearing for it, most of the people recruited into the Nigerian army through the Boko Haram were actually recruited in the name of Buhari's wife and wife of governors. This was part of their own empowerment programs. But you have people who are in the NYC, who have studied and have NYC. That is why I said as president, I will extend the NYC by 2 years, but I will not make it compulsory. But if you want to join the NYC, I will make you become a teacher or you join the security forces. Because we already know you. You passed through the university. You have a certificate. We can easily screen you. And there are a lot of graduates who are jobless who want to join the army. But who wants to go and join an army that is managed by illiterates when you are yourself, you are literate? That's the problem. How can somebody like Buratai ever even become one that knows Buratai? I saw him in Kaduna the other day. You know, he was talking at Arewa Consulting Forum, reading, and nobody was listening to him. He saw me, I shook hands with him, he said, me and you, we will box one day. He said, don't try it. Yes. Because don't take it for granted that because I look.
So are you a boxer?
He was just saying it. I think he was saying because of the amount of expose that was done on him by Sowore reporters. We did a lot of reporting on him.
Insecurity is tied to resource, illegal mining, resource control, and all of that. So, if you become the president, what do you say? How would you handle illegal mining, resource control, and resource derivation, 13% derivation, and all that derivation they agitate for?
Do you know that I studied geography and planning in my?
No, sir.
I do.
So, what I'll do first is to map all the resources in the mining sector, know what is where, through advanced cartography, area mapping, soil samples, geology, and then I will license you to go operate in areas where you cannot enter an area to mine if the federal government doesn't know you. The problem now is that the federal government is itself aiding and abetting illegal mining. So that the money goes into the private pockets of those in power. There's gold in Zamfara. Nobody wants to tell you the reason why Zamfara is in turmoil is because of gold. And the people who are mining it, we know that. There's the guy you mentioned, former NSA, he's one of them, and another governor. They're all fighting there. But ask yourself, why is it that the gold mines in Zamfara are quiet? Nobody's operating there. But they are flying private planes there to pick gold. And that's another thing about technology. How can you have an airspace and some people fly into it and you can't detect them?